This is Sharod from God is Dope, and I just killed my interview with Next Up.
So, Sharod, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
Pretty good. Welcome to the Next Up studio. Thank you for coming by today.
No problem.
So, are you really spiritual?
I am. I would say I'm more spiritual than religious.
So, how did you come to that conclusion that you are more spiritual than religious?
Just based on the fact that the older I got, the more I started to realize that God was more than just a specific thing that like most people try to just box him in as, and I grew up Jehovah's Witness, like before my mom passed, and then when she passed, I moved over to like Baptist with my grandfather. But just seeing both sides of that, it kind of molded, just for me to be more spiritual than just religious toward one specific religion.
What was your spiritual journey like?
Can you elaborate on that, as far as
from the process of you growing up being a Jehovah's Witness to where you are right now? Tell me some of the things that you've experienced.
I've experienced all type of stuff. I mean, I think everybody have in life, but some of the stuff I've experienced was just like a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but like when I was 9, my mom passed from like AIDS. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of shaped me into the person I am today. As far as just when I was younger, she was always like teaching me stuff that I didn't really realize. What she was showing me, like she died from AIDS. So I don't know if it was through sex or just dealing with guys that or drugs or something like that. But it kind of shaped me into who I am today, as far as like just realizing certain things that we would talk about like at a young age. I'm coming across those type of things today, from like women to just everyday like things that happen in life, whether it be business, all type of stuff. But as far as my spiritual journey, I would say I'm trying to like really zero in on that question, like as far as like, give me an example of like what you mean, because I want to make sure I answer it right.
Nothing is ever really right. It's just,
right.
You know what you've experienced. Like for example, like I guess my spiritual journey, I've been in dark moments. I've been in bright moments.
Right.
Sometimes it's been rough. I've sacrificed a few things.
Right.
You don't have to.
Well, it's just so I can name so many different things, but I would say maybe one thing that stick out in particular was just when I started. The original reason I started God is Dope wasn't for it to be like a clothing brand. It was I just bought a domain for my cousin that I was like managing at the time, and one thing led to another, and he got on and he left. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just me and him working together, and once he left, I was just left with nothing but like the domain of God is Dope, and it kind of my back was against the wall at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And I try to teach people that want to start a brand whereas they're going through a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? In the early stages, I'm like, man, just embrace all this pain because it's gonna make you who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was like, like just the fact that I'm spiritual and I do believe that it's something bigger than me. It kind of helped me shape the direction I was going in, as far as just like the whole guerrilla street mentality, you know what I'm saying, as far as the marketing and just putting together a plan with really little to zero resources, little to zero money, and just knowing like no matter what, God got me, you know what I'm saying, and through all of that, he showed me that he got me.
Now, when you said that you started the brand with your cousin, what was the plan?
Well, the original plan was use it as like merchandise for his music. And I was searching domain names and I came up with 3 domains. One was for his music, one was just randomly, and then God is Dope. I was like, okay, this could be merch, this could be a blog, this could be a management company, this could be anything. And once he left, you know, I was just like, man, I had a brand previous to God is Dope called Personal, and I had experience with merchandise, but it wasn't like the best experience. And I always told myself, I'm gonna do the opposite of what I did with Personal. You know what I'm saying? When I started God is Dope, and I just went out, I put together a plan, I kept it simple, and it just, you know, it happened like that. Cause the question was, you asked me what was the original plan, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he's a rapper, and I was like his creative director. You know, he my cousin, but I wasn't calling myself his manager. It was just like he would rap, and I would do everything else. You know, and that was the plan. And once he left, all I had was these domain names and these ideas that I had, you know, for the merch or whatever it was.
Do you currently design all of your things by yourself, or do you have a team that you work with?
I would say like 95%, because I do take opinions from people that work in the factory, but I would say like 95% of the stuff that you see from God is Dope is from me.
Now, where do you pull your inspiration?
I pull my inspiration from all type of stuff. Like Instagram is huge, you know what I'm saying, as far as where I can get inspiration from. Everyday life, things that I've heard, you know, my grandparents, you know, tell me. Movies, music, you know, like I pull from everywhere.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The 5 Heartbeats.
That's interesting. That's a good movie though. So I feel like I trust you now.
It's the best movie.
Maybe because, I trust you.
Okay.
Are you originally from Atlanta?
I'm from Chicago originally. Mm-hmm.
So when did you come to Atlanta?
I came to Atlanta in 2005.
What made you transition here?
I came here to do electrical work, like construction work. My cousin had a friend that had a company, and he was like, man, you can go to college or you can come out here and start your life. And I just came out here and started working. You
did start your life?
Right. Right.
Now going back to your brand, what's your favorite piece that you've created?
The box logo. The shirt. It's just, you know, it's just because that's what got me, you know, where I am today, and that's the most recognizable God is Dope piece because it's obviously the logo. But yeah, the first thing I made is still my favorite.
How many pieces did you start out with?
1.
Well, when you first started out with that one piece, what was the process like? Was it running off the shelves or was it hard? No, the first shirt that we produced, we took it to. I actually started selling it at my family reunion. It was like on a mannequin, and family members just coming up buying it, $10, $15, whatever, just supporting. And then I drove back to Atlanta, and we started selling on the streets, like at Walmart, Cookout, Waffle House. And one thing led to another. We got tables at Clark Atlanta, like for Market Thursday, Spelman for Market Friday, Plaza Tuesdays at Georgia State. And literally, as soon as people saw it, it was over, you know, just based off of the way we was wearing it, the way the pictures were set up. You know, I tried to bring a different type of experience to the whole pop-up shop on campus. We had carpet out there, we had a tent, we had a backdrop, you know, it was racks. So it looked like an outdoor store, you know, and that was kind of like, I wanted that presentation to be right. Do you wear your own brand every day?
Every day.
What's your favorite piece that you wear?
My favorite piece that I wear is probably this hoodie like we just made, like right now today. Yeah. This hoodie I just made. It's like a sample hoodie with just logos all over it. That's why I'm kind of sweating because I probably shouldn't have worn it because it's hot. But yeah, this hoodie is it's my favorite piece right now. Yeah.
When you decide that you're gonna put something on the market, do you use the influence of the people, or is it just something that you know will be a hit?
No, I walk it around the factory sometimes. You know, like I'll take a piece and I'll show people. I'll get people's opinion. For the most part, I know, you know, because I mean, some people would tell me don't do it. You know, through my life, a lot of people told me not to do stuff, and I did it anyway, and it, you know, it worked. So I just always like to get people's opinion and see how they feel, because, you know, like a few different sets of eyes might catch something that you might not have caught, or, you know, a misspelled word, of, you know, stuff that's like the grammar might be off or something, you know what I'm saying? So I always like to run it by people before I put it on the market.
Definitely. Going back to you growing up, what was Chicago like for you?
Chicago was cool. I grew up in, actually, I don't represent like where I'm from, in Harvey, Illinois. So yeah, I'm from Harvey, Illinois, and it's like maybe 15 minutes outside of Chicago. But yeah, it was cool. It wasn't no problems. I had a good life. You know, it wasn't like we was rich or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I think I'll be, if I try to make it seem like I went through some stuff, it'd be a disservice to, you know, my father and, you know, everybody that raised me. But I mean, Chicago is definitely Chicago, but I don't want to, you know, shine no bad light on, you know, it is a lot of bad stuff that's going on in the city, but it's a lot of beautiful things that's going on in the city too. And, you know, hopefully, you know, I can change that, you know, the way people look at the city, and, you know, make more people want to come to Chicago and do what they do in Atlanta, you know. Even though I am in Atlanta, but eventually I do plan to go back and just try to, you know, open a store and, you know, do something with the look, because I'm real big on baseball, so I want to do something with the Little League, and, you know, just stuff like that, just to give back and let people know, like, man, like he was saying before, you ain't got to rap or go to the league to make it.
For sure. What was the process like getting your store?
Getting my store, it was crazy, because I wasn't sure I wanted a store, because everybody knows that brick and mortar is like, you just don't do it, especially as a new brand. It just don't make sense. And I was at Harold's Chicken, you know, shout out Chicago, on Edgewood, and there's no shade at them, but they just take a long time to make your food. So I left, and I just was wandering down Edgewood, and I seen a vacant building. I'm like, man, and it was like $2,600 or $2,500 plus the taxes or whatever. And I reached out to the guy, and he was like, man, send me your credit score, send me your bank statements and this and that, and, you know, I'll meet you at the store. And I sent him all that, and literally the next day, he gave me the keys. And the interesting part about that, it was so many people after I got the store that came in, and was just like, man, I had the hardest time getting this store. Like dude put me through so many loops and holes and this and that. And it was like literally a 2-day process. I had the keys, and I ain't had no problems from the landlord. I done heard all type of stories from that particular store, that particular landlord. And it's just, I just been blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no problems from him. I ain't had, yeah, it was just seamless, you know, the whole process.
When did you open the store?
I opened the store in, I would say, officially April of 2016.
How has the climate of Edgewood changed since you've been there?
The climate definitely took a hit once the department store left. But for the most part, it's still the same, you know, same type of vibe, parties, jumping from club to bar to lounge to God is dope, back out, you know, to mothers and all that type of stuff. It's the same thing. It was more music based before I got there, you know what I'm saying? But once the department store closed, it just became just party.
That's true. I really enjoy the aesthetic of your store,
Mm-hmm.
but I know you have an Airbnb as well.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide to do that?
Just being able to make God is dope more of a lifestyle type of thing, opposed to just something that you can wear, something that where you can stay. You know, it's something where just trying to get into different aspects of everyday life, you know, because we got the sheets, we got the pillowcases, we got the towels, you know what I'm saying, stuff, we got paintings, you know, stuff that you can put in your house and see God is dope every day. You might buy a shirt, you might wear it once a month, you know, and if it get faded or something, you might throw it away, you might buy another one. But if you got pillowcases, if you got sheets, if you got towels, you're gonna probably see that every day. If you got a God's dope piece hanging up in your kitchen, you're gonna see that every day. So it was to kind of infiltrate more into like people's lives opposed to just shirts.
infiltrating into people's lives. I get it. So you have a podcast, or you're working on a podcast?
Well, yeah, we have a podcast. We haven't shot an episode in a while, but yeah, we had a podcast that was just basically going over like the day-to-day things that we do at God is Dope, from the idea. Like if we came up with an idea that day, we would talk about the idea. We would talk about how we gonna produce it. We would talk about how we gonna advertise it. We would talk about the revenue it made the next, you know what I'm saying? Like throughout the courses of us dropping it. So it was just like a real first-hand experience of like how to really run a company in a way, you know. Stuff that I don't think you can get it anywhere else, because I never seen that done anywhere else. Not from a company like the magnitude of us. Not from any company really, but. Yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to do something different and give real numbers, because a lot of people play around with numbers and this and that, but I really want to show people like, man, this is really how much we made. This is how much we lost. You know, this is how much it looked like we made. This is how much we really made. You know what I'm saying? Just different things that people don't talk about, because you know, like 200,000 in a month could really probably only be 15, if you know, depending on how everything is going as far as staffing and payroll and rent and production costs and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that aspect of things.
Random question: did your cousin ever come back?
Oh, that's a great question. He really never left, as far as he's just my family. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing like we didn't talk. You know what I'm saying? We would still talk just because, based off of who I am. You know, I don't think it was something that any other person probably would have just like not hollered at him. You know what I'm saying? It would probably just been some beef, but it's just like, I just know what's for me is for me and what's for him is for him. So it's nothing that he can really do that could affect what God got in store for me. It's nothing that I can do that's going to affect what God got in store for him. So, nah, it wasn't like he left for a year or 6 months. We were still talking, but I just felt the direction he wanted to go in, and I was just like, okay, cool. It don't take much to really, you know, it's like, okay, you don't want me to be a part of it, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it ain't no bad blood. We still talk. We talk almost every day. But at the end of the day, it's a blessing the way I look at it.
Who was the first person that wore your brand that made you like shook?
The first person that wore my brand that made me shook, I would say it was two different levels of it. So the first person that wore it that gave us a boost was Drea Michelle. No, I'll take that back. Tammy, Waka Flocka's wife, she wore it. Then Drea wore it. And I felt the effects from like how an Instagram post can really change your day. You know, not like necessarily, I thought it was gonna change my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, we on for sure. You know, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, man, we good. You know, I'm like, I thought it was it. Because like the orders came in, I'm talking about every 2 minutes it was an order. I'm like, this is gonna go on forever. You know, but you know, eventually the hype, it died down, and you just got to get back to figuring out how to stay relevant. So when Tammy wore it, we saw a boost. And then I think maybe 2 weeks later, I saw Dre at Spelman, I had one of the girls at Spelman give her a shirt, and she tagged us, you know, on the way to the airport and everything. Had the shirt on. It was like probably the best picture you could ever take of a product picture. And orders went crazy again. But the person that really, really had me shook was when Janet Jackson wore it. I was like, man, you know, that's like, you ain't gonna get too much, like, we can only get Mike after that, you know what I'm saying? You know, that ain't gonna happen. So that's the closest we gonna get to Mike. So I'm like, man, I'll take that.
See, look at you guys though.
Right, yeah, I was like, man.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing this, I would probably be a baseball coach at a college or at a high school or something like that, because I really, really enjoy baseball and teaching and kids and stuff like that, or directing. But I'm doing that still, so I would, like, if I just wasn't directing or doing God is Dope, I would probably just be like just a baseball coach.
Keep us posted. We love new. You seen us?
Right.
We love a good flick.
Right. No, I'll give y'all a short film I shot in Chicago.
Oh yeah, do that.
Yeah,
please.
I would love y'all
enjoy
feedback.
that.
It's ridiculous.
For sure. We really appreciate you coming by.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good time. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you.
Tell these wonderful people your name,
Mm-hmm.
where they can find you, where they can find your merch.
Okay, yeah, my name is Sharod Simpson. You can find me at God is Dope on Instagram, God is Dope _ on Twitter. Our website is godisdope.com. What else? You can shop at our store in Atlanta, Georgia on 451 Edgewood Avenue, Southeast. Yeah, man, if you're ever in town and if you want to shop, if you want some knowledge on entrepreneurship, I always pull up. If I'm there, I'm more than willing to, give you some gems and let you know everything that I know, things that I've been through to help you on your journey.